Hello, this is Rodney from rodneysblog.net, Rodney Trevino YouTube channel, and today we're going to continue reading in Genesis chapter 19. Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed. The two angels arrived at Sodom in the evening, and Lot was sitting in the gateway of the city. When he saw them, he got up to meet them and bowed down with his face to the ground. "My lords," he said, "please turn aside to your servant's house. You can wash your feet and spend the night and then go on your way early in the morning." "No," they answered, "we will spend the night in the square." But he insisted so strongly that they did go with him and entered his house. He prepared a meal for them, baking bread without yeast, and they ate. Before they had gone to bed, all the men from every part of the city of Sodom, both young and old, surrounded the house. They called to Lot, "Where are the men who came to you tonight? Bring them out to us so we can have sex with them." So right away, starting in verse 19 here, verse 1, Lot was waiting in the gateway of the city, and he was probably doing that because he knew what kind of city it was, and he was there to try to protect any visitors. He saw the angels that were there. He urged them for their own protection to come into his house and instead of spending the night in the square there. And surely enough, before they even went to bed, the men of the city had surrounded his house and had demanded that he bring out the visitors for sex, or to be gang raped, basically. So these are the angels of God who were with previously, probably these were the ones that were previously with Abraham. And, they were the ones that were saying, the outcry of the city is so bad that they needed to come and see for themselves whether it was as bad as had been reported. And sure enough, on day one, they find out that they want to get raped. They want to rape them. Verse 6, Lot went outside to meet them and shut the door behind him and said, "No, my friends, don't do this wicked thing. Look, I have two daughters who have never slept with a man. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do to them what you like, and you can do what you like to them. But don't do anything to these men, for they have come under the protection of my roof." So here is Lot offering up his daughters to get gang raped. And you ask, how could he do such a thing? It just shows that in the Bible, the men of the Bible were definitely not perfect, and they were sinful. Yet, because of their faith, God can consider somebody righteous, even though they have a lot of sin or a hardened heart, or basically, Lot was so incredibly selfish that he didn't care about not even his own daughters. Yeah, definitely a lot of lack of character there. But let's continue reading in verse 9. Get out of our way," they replied. "This fellow came here as a foreigner, and now he wants to play judge. We'll treat you worse than them." They kept bringing pressure on Lot and moved forward to break down the door. But the men inside reached out and pulled Lot back into the house and shut the door. Then they struck the men who were at the door of the house, young and old, with blindness, so that they could not find the door. The two men said to Lot, "Do you have anyone here, sons-in-law, sons or daughters, or anyone else in the city who belongs to you? Get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place. The outcry to the Lord against its people is so great that he has sent us to destroy it." So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-law, who were pledged to marry his daughters. He said, "Hurry and get out of this place, because the Lord is about to destroy the city." But his sons-in-laws thought he was joking, so they didn't take Lot seriously there. With the coming of the dawn, the angels urged Lot, saying, "Hurry, take your wife and your two daughters who are here, or you will be swept away when the city is punished." When he hesitated, the men grasped his hand and the hands of his wife and his two daughters and led them safely out of the city, for the Lord was merciful to them. As soon as they had brought them out, one of them said, "Flee for your lives. Don't look back, and don't stop anywhere in the plain. Flee to the mountains, or you'll be swept away." But Lot said to them, "No, my lords, please, your servant has found favor in your eyes, and you have shown great kindness in sparing my life. But I can't flee to the mountains the disaster will overtake me and I'll die. Look, here is a town near enough to run to, and it's small. Let me flee to it. It's very small, isn't it? Then my life will be spared. He said to him, Very well, I will grant this request too. I will not overthrow the town you speak of, but flee there quickly, because I cannot do anything until you reach it. That is why the town is called Zor, which means small. So the promise of Abraham here was fulfilled when he said that he would spare a whole city for the sake of 10 righteous people. Um, I guess that's the reason why the angels wanted to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah, because if Lot was there, they wouldn't be able to destroy the city. But Lot, not wanting to run all the way to the mountains, fled to Zoar. By the time Lot reached Zoar, the sun had risen over the land, and the Lord rained down burning sulfur on Sodom and Gomorrah from the Lord out of the heaven. So it's saying that burning sulfur fell from heaven, fell from the skies on the city. Thus overthrew those cities and the entire plain, destroying all those living in the cities, and also the vegetation in the land. But Lot's wife looked back, and she became a pillar of salt. And yes, literally a pillar of salt, because they were told not to look back. And wife's Lot looked back. Verse 27. Early the next morning, Abraham got up and returned to the place where he had stood before the Lord. He looked down towards Sodom and Gomorrah, towards all the land of the plain, and saw dense smoke rising from the land, like smoke from a furnace. So when God destroyed the cities of the plains, he remembered Abraham and brought Lot out of the catastrophe that overthrew the cities where Lot had lived. Let's continue now. Lot and his daughters. So as Lot seemed like he didn't really care about his daughters, let's continue the story here. Verse 30, Lot and his two daughters left Zoar and settled in the mountains, where he was afraid to stay in Zoar. And it looks like the little town he fled to was not much better than Sodom and Gomorrah. He couldn't even stay there. He and his two daughters lived in a cave. One day, the older daughter said to the younger, Our father is old, and there is no man around here to give us children, as is the custom all over the earth. Let's get our father to drink wine and then sleep with him and preserve our family line through our father. That night they got the father to drink wine. The older daughter went and slept with him. He was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. The next day the older daughter said to the younger daughter, Last night I slept with my father. Let's get him to drink wine again tonight, and you go in and sleep with him so we can preserve our family line through our father. So they got his father to drink wine that night also, and the younger daughter went and slept with him. Again, he was not aware of it when she lay down or when she got up. So we've got some incest going on here. The daughters of Lot here. Just says a lot about Lot and his character. That his daughters thought it was okay to do this. So I don't want to speculate on what kind of relationship he had with his daughters, but might have not been a very good one here. Verse 36, So both of Lot's daughters became pregnant by their father. The older daughter had a son, and she named him Moab. He is the father of the Moabites today. The younger daughter also had a son, and she named him Ben-Amin. Ben-Ami. He is the father of the Ammonites today. So definitely the Ammonites and the Moabites, definitely races in the Bible that you see quite a bit. I'm not sure who they would be today. It has been suggested that maybe the Moabites are the Chinese people and the Ammonites are the Japanese people, but I can't confirm whether that's true or not. Maybe you know. If you do, leave it in the comment section. I'd love to hear about that. And thank you for watching Rodney Tribune YouTube channel and Rodney'sBlog.net. I hope you have a wonderful day. All right, bye-bye.